Okay, does anybody else have anything to add before I start the demo? Okay. So welcome, Susan. First, I'm going to just demo what an applicant is going to go through to submit an application. This is the testing for option 1, which is the applicant submits the application through eSLA, and then the inspector approves or addresses the permit application in eSLA themselves. So we're going to go through first what the customer is going to see, and then we'll go through as the inspector and what the inspector is going to see. And most of this, the team did a really good job of trying to mimic the new system to the old system. So you shouldn't see a lot of changes. The pages are going to look a little different themselves, just the look of them, but all of the information is still the same. So with that, this is the pre-prod environment. It's a testing environment, and you will be getting a link. I can't remember if it's to pre-prod or a different testing environment, but it'll be very similar for you to practice. So this is what it'll look like. You do not have to log in. This is logging in is more for commercial and credential items, but for UDC, we have separate links up here. So if I am the applicant, I'm going to go to this top menu bar, this blue bar, and I'm going to choose Uniform Dwelling Code Permits. Click on that here. And these are the same cautionary notices as the old system that the customer is going to need to acknowledge, and they'll do that down here after they read it, of course, and click to start permit. Again, all of these fields and required information will remain the same, but we will go through the steps to fill it all out, just so we can walk through it all together. Let's say that the Abbotsford project, 1 family. Let's say it's construction, HVAC, electric, and plumbing. So this is all very similar to the existing system. Next to continue. All right, let's just say as the applicant, I'm also the owner of the property. Oops, not that one, this one, copy submitter information. This you would check if it's for manufactured home. I'm going to do that for this one. Copies information over. The dwelling contractor, this is all, again, very similar to the existing system. You can look up the license, and this takes you to eSLA because these credentials have moved over to eSLA. So if you need to look something up, you can do that here. Let's say status is active. And you can find a credential number here, go back to your application, fill it in. License lookup populates this information just like the existing system. And then you can do it again for qualifier information. But I'm just going to copy here. HVAC. Electrical, so electrical, this credential has not moved into eSLA yet. So when you click on the lookup link, it's going to take you to the existing, the pre-eSLA system. So you can search for here.
You marked elevator contractor.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Put in. Populate. And you notice the phone and email address are optional. Those are not required. Master electrician. Populating this information, master plumber. We're gonna skip this so we can see what happens when some information is missing. So let's just see how this goes. All right, clicking next takes you to step 3, and we'll just fill in this information, say square feet, say Abbotsford. Let's call this I think we said this is Marshfield or Marathon. It's Marathon. Some zoning information. Like area, we said this was a single family, so we only need to complete unit 1. Calculates it for you. We're just going to roll through this. All the same options, all the same questions. I think I can make that big. $600,000 because time are crazy. And this is the same signature and warning, I guess, that the owner, if you're the owner, you can check this and say, I understand about not hiring someone with the correct credential. This is all the same as the previous system. So next to continue. And you get to the review information. So you're just reviewing the information you filled out. Yes, looks good. And then you submit. All right, so just like the previous system, it tells you that this is not an actual permit. The permit will be issued by the city after the review process. It also identifies that this information is missing, but it still allowed the customer to submit, just like the previous system. And then it also identifies the filing number, it's DIS number. This is the new format for the filing number. So this is what the customer will receive. And then they should also get an email, though I think I used, oh no, I did the email. So if you can see this email, this is what the customer will receive. That says you have submitted for a permit. You have not been issued the permit, but this is the summary of what you submitted. So that's it for the customer's application. Other than a few changes and the look of the page, it's all very similar, exactly the same. So we will move on to what the inspector is going to do, but I can pause for questions. Any questions? Anything to add? All right, we'll move on. So let's go back to this main page. So now I'm in the inspector. Now I work for the city of Abbotsford, and I'm going to review that permit application. So I'm going to log in, same menu bar up top, but instead of this one, which is for the customers, we're going to do the UDC Municipal login. This takes you to the Municipality Workspace. Again, very similar to the existing system. This is the municipality we submitted the application under, so we're going to click it here. And then you would still use your access code that you have for the existing system, and you can put it in here. So our access codes for this testing environment are a little different. So I will provide those to, or the team will provide those to you for your testing purposes. But when we move over to the permanent eSLA system for UDC permits, the access codes will not change. I understand that they are going to remain the same. So you don't have to worry about getting new access codes. So now you're logged into the Municipality Workspace for your municipality, City of Abbotsford. And you can either use this information to filter, or you can just search and see all of the applications and all of their statuses. I'll show up here. This Cedar Lane is the one we just did, so we will manage permit to take a look at it. Because we left some information blank, we have this red notice, basically. It also changes our options. We do not have the option to approve the permit because not all of the information was provided. So I guess first we will choose to deny this permit. We didn't get what we needed. They submitted under false pretense, whatever. We don't want to do this permit. Let's deny it. It brings you to this, it's kind of a confirmation page, but you're required to enter a comment to explain why you're denying it, or further instructions. And once you do this, you can press deny, and it will send an email to the applicant denying their permit. Maybe we got more information since then. We decided we don't want to deny it, so let's go back to continue to approval. All right, so customer forgot that they forgot to include the master plumber number, so they emailed it to us separate. We can go in and add that back ourselves. So you can click to go to step 2, and it'll just jump you to step 2, or you can click this previous and just go back through the pages of the application. You're just going to see what the applicant can see. So we jumped here. They emailed us the plumber number, which I did copy. So populate that information. Actually, you could press next to roll through. Otherwise, you can just go straight to the summary page. And now that all the information is provided, an approve option appears. So let's click approve. This takes you to the approval page, and you are required to enter this information: Wisconsin permit seal number, municipality number for dwelling location, and the permit issuer name and inspector certification number. So we will go through here: City of Abbotsford, and then the state contracted inspection agency. This is the UDC inspection agency credential, but not the credential number. This is the contact ID for that credential agency. So I want to show you, in case you need to search for that, you would go under credentials, trades credential, uniform dwelling code, UDC inspection agency. Search for this. And if this was all CROI inspections, you would want to open it up and check for the customer ID. This customer ID is this number here, not the credential number. So it's a little confusing. It's a little misleading at this moment. I'm not sure if this is going to change in the future, but just know that that's what is required to put in this field. It is validated. So if you do not put in a valid customer ID here, it will not let you proceed. So let's add some review fees, other fees for deposit, Wisconsin permit seal. Let's give that a number. And then we will give this name for a UDC inspector. So let's say Adam, give him a phone number, And then again with the certification number, again, it's a little misleading because you're not actually looking for a certification number. You are looking for the customer ID. So we can just go through this one more time. You look them up. And we grab this customer ID and not the credential number. Here, building permit number, any conditional for approval, and then approve. This moves the permit to pending payment status. So you have approved the permit, but you're waiting for payment. At this time, the customer will get another email. Looks like this: online building permit you filed has been approved and it is pending payment status. So they're aware that their application has been reviewed, but not paid for. So now I'll say I receive a check from them. I'm able to proceed to issue permit page. And all that you have to do at this is just confirm that you received payment, and all you have to do is check this button. There's no additional button to check. So once you check this, it is marking the permit application as paid, and the customer will receive yet another email that says the permit has been issued. Looks like this, and it allows them to go in and print their permit, as well as the inspector is able to click on this link to download the permit themselves. So that's just a quick run through of what the inspector sees, what the customer is going to see. I can pause for questions because I went through that pretty fast.
Etta, this is Jack. How are
Yes,
you?
Jack.
How are you able to go in the beginning there from denied back to continue to approve?
I
Did I
didn't
miss
actually. I didn't complete the denial. I just went through the steps, and then in that last button that you would press to say deny, I didn't press that.
Okay.
Yep. So we could go through an example to see what happens when you press the deny if you'd like.
Edit,
Yes.
real quick before you do,
Yep.
move, were you able to download that permit?
I didn't check.
Okay, just want to make sure that. Okay.
Yep,
Looks
that
like this.
doesn't look right.
Yeah, looks like that. I don't know.
Should all be on
Yours
one
is
page.
looking yeah, yours is looking a little different than mine. So,
So something for us to look into.
yeah, we'll take a look.
Okay.
Take a look at it here. Yeah, mine's all on one page, but.
All right. Yeah, let's see if we can find an application to deny. Oops, wait. So here's one. We can say that for whatever reason we need to deny this permit. So click on the deny button. Didn't have all the information anyway. And then to complete the denial, you would press this button here. Permit has been denied. And then immediately instructed to close the window. So just a simple process for that. Also wanted to, yep, go ahead.
When we deny it, do they get an email then, or what happens?
This was Mike's. Mike, did you receive an email? Let me see if I can.
I think I just got one. Yep, I got an email that says online building permit you filed with the City of Abbotsford has been denied. Please review the denial reasons. Not all information is provided. Please resubmit.
Okay, now when they resubmit, do they have to start over, or does it give them a number to go back in on this permit?
Nope, they have to go start over.
So they start completely new. Good to know.
I think if the inspector didn't want them to start completely new, they would
Contact them.
contact them separately rather than denying. Yep. That's been my experience in the past.
And then once you deny it, is it removed from the municipality's queue?
Let us look. Mike, do you have the DIS number?
Yep, hold on one second.
Just so I make sure I look at the right one.
It should just be displayed in a denied status.
In denied, okay, that's fine.
Let's see. We'll see.
Yeah,
These are just questions I'm gonna get.
That's fine.
hold on here one second. Let me post it in the chat. here
Yep,
on this
right
one.
here. So it just shows the status of denied here,
Okay,
which they could filter by, or they could just see the list. If you go back to it, they have the option to delete, and that's it. What happens if they go back and fill this stuff? Oh, this was all empty. Okay, so even if they go back to edit the information, it's already been denied. There's no reviving this. It appears. So
Yeah.
denying a permit is final.
that's fine. I think that's what we're used to anyway.
Okay, great. Great. Okay, I am going to next show how you can update contact information, which is just real quick, and it'll allow you guys to come up with some more questions. UDC municipal login. Let's say we are with the town of Abrams. You go up here to manage settings. It brings you to the information that you see on that yellow page. You can update the clerk information, contact information, the inspector information, and also the inspector hours. And then you simply press save. And that updates the information that you would see that the customer would see when they go to apply, which isn't up anymore, but it's there. If you recall, when we were the customer, it showed up there. Oops, this is the one. It would show up here once you pick your city, this information. And that is the quick tour. Any questions?
Yeah, I might have missed this step again, but you went into town of Abrams.
Mm-hmm.
Did you put in an access code then?
I did, yep.
Okay, good. Otherwise, other municipalities could go into the wrong ones and screw things up.
Nope, I did. I put in an access code here.
Good enough. I missed that.
Any other questions?
Would the system still work the same for Amish? Because they won't have, they normally build their own homes and they don't have electric.
Right. So,
Because I know like now, if you just leave the contractor blank, as long as they apply for the permit, it'll go through. Will that work the same with the new?
yep. So the information, how do I put this? The application does not prevent the customer from submitting the application if it's missing required information, but it prevents the inspector from approving it. So the inspector has to follow up. Yep. Okay, so yeah, we tested that with the HVAC contractor, or not the master plumber. We didn't put that in there. And so it prevented the inspector from moving forward with that.
Right.
So, yep. And then we also have waivers, but I didn't practice that.
I know if we don't click the electric, then we don't have a problem, but it's when the homeowner is acting as the contractor. The general.
Right. Right. So we kind of discussed this the other day. Actually, it's still going to throw the error of missing information, but I think we talked about changing that. Jack, Mike, does that sound correct?
Yeah, we discussed it. And Susan, if you don't, I mean, I know the not clicking electrical is a workaround, kind of a fudge step. They can click electrical, and then when it comes in, you would contact either Lenny or myself, and we can generate a waiver number. And when you go back in to approve it, you click on waiver, enter the number we gave you for that. It's specific to that permit, and that'll let it go through the system with that waiver number.
Oh, perfect.
Then your permit will show that they're still approved for building, HVAC, plumbing, electrical, the whole works, but we'll have a waiver in there to eliminate the licenses we don't need.
Okay.
And Ed, yeah, we talked about the waivers. They were supposed to work. I don't know if we ever went through and did anything with them.
Mike, am I missing where the waivers are located? I thought I had seen them in your demo. A button up here.
Yeah, so to do the waivers have to start from the DSPS side.
Oh, okay. Oh, yes, that's right. Okay.
Oh, the
So if there's
administrative part. Yeah.
Yeah. So if if you want to go out and submit a new permit for the city of Abbotsford, I'll issue one that you can try through the municipal portal then.
Can I steal one of yours?
Yeah,
No,
I'll have
I
to
need
create
start over.
Yeah, I'd go ahead and start over and just let me know if you're not going to put the plumber or the electrician, and I will.
So I should still click these boxes as
So
plumber and
if you
electrician.
yep, and you're doing marathon. Okay.
Yeah, the other one doesn't show up.
Okay.
So are we running this one as a religious waiver, Etta?
Yes, we're gonna practice that. So they don't have electrical. Do they typically wouldn't have dwelling contractors or qualifiers either, right?
Correct.
Well, right, but dwelling contractor and qualifier, they can avoid by just clicking on the owner occupant.
Sure. I just let's make this authentic. So they're not gonna have a dwelling contractor qualifier. They're not gonna have HVAC.
Yeah, because they have wood stoves.
Okay,
Yeah,
no electrical contractor, no master electrician,
right.
plumber.
They
Well-
do put plumbing in now.
They do
They
have
are
plumbing.
putting sanitary systems in.
Okay.
Yes, they do need that one.
Yeah,
They-
We
yeah.
changed that up on them last year or 2 years ago.
Oh, we saw that a house wasn't required to have plumbing. It is? I don't think it was. What was it? Word. Anybody? Word. Five, 4, 4, 5, 5, 4. This would be empty. HVAC is empty. Sewer, do they get a sanitary permit?
Yep, they'll get a sanitary permit. It'll be solid.
What's that?
It'll be solid for space heating
Okay,
because they put wood stoves in.
okay. But they still do a heat loss calculation?
They don't have to because it's non-renewable, or it's a renewable source of energy.
All right, so here I'm vouching that I'm the owner occupant. Here I'm submitting, so I still get a DIS number even though all of this information is missing. All right, Mike, what's next?
Log in as to municipality.
Clean up some stuff here. Let's find this code. All right, so this is our recent manage.
Yep.
Proceed to waiver page. That's what button I was looking for.
There you go.
There you go. So the inspector would choose that.
And then the waiver number, I think you just needed electric for this one, correct?
We would have needed master electrician and electrical contractor.
Yeah.
Yep. So enter 998 as the waiver number.
So the inspector would have to contact
They
Would
have
have
to
to
contact us,
first.
me or Lenny.
Okay, and then they complete this step.
Right, yeah, because they have to let us know they need a waiver and what they need it for, then we create it and I normally email it back to them and then they can go ahead and complete the permit.
I see. Okay, so those are pre-populated. Waiver number 998, check. And then it validates that. So you can go back to summary page.
So now the electrical stuff should not be required, right?
Master electrician is still required.
Still required.
Well, a lot of times those two numbers are gonna be different. I mean, I don't know anybody that's got the same number for both of those certifications. They're different. So you
Yeah, one's for
probably-
the individual, one's for the contractor.
Right, you're gonna have to probably generate two. Wait, I don't know. No, because if you click the button for electrical, that should have taken care of all of it, right? Isn't that the
Yep.
intent?
Yep. So I'm
There
gonna
might
log
be-
that one. Yep, I'm gonna log that one as a bug that we need to resolve. And I think the other issue was,
But would you need one for the HVAC contractor too then? A waiver?
you know, the only options you have for waivers were for plumbing or electrical, or
Yeah,
both.
But because it's
Um,
showing that there's no contractor and you can't approve it then.
So these
then-
three are the same. The owner can do them themselves.
what are those three? I can't read them.
I'm sorry, dwelling contractor qualifier, and HVAC. The owner can choose, if the owner is
Yeah.
building the house themselves, they can choose to not enter these and do all of that work themselves.
Yep, I think that's
Yes.
another. Yeah,
And so I think
that's,
that's what, when we click that checkbox at the end that vouches I'm the owner occupant, by
Yeah.
checking that, it should make these not required.
yep, I just want to confirm with you so that we can get this one
Yep.
cleaned up here. Just trying to get through an app to get to that page. Okay, so if you select that I vouch that I am an owner occupant, then
This one here.
the dwelling contractor,
Yep, so I vouch that I am or will be the owner occupant of this dwelling for which I am applying for an erosion control protection permit without a dwelling contractor certification and have read the cautionary statement.
okay, so should it also clear out the dwelling contractor qualifier then as well?
Mhm. Yep.
Okay,
Yes,
And
and then,
HVAC.
I'm trying to get to the HVAC requirements. I know in the plumbing and electrical, you can do work if you're already residing there, but with a new home, nobody's residing there yet. That's why we need the waiver type stuff.
I actually
wanna-
thought HVAC was not a required field in the old system.
That could have been too.
yeah, did you, it's because you selected an HVAC permit is the only reason that it was required.
Mhm.
But even if I'm the owner and I'm gonna put my own HVAC in, I would still need a permit. I just wouldn't need a contractor.
That's correct. Yeah, that's the way it's written there. They can do
So
it without,
actually you do,
they
you
can
went,
do it
full-
if it's their own home and they're gonna actually be the ones installing it. They can't hire someone who doesn't have the contractor license. And
Okay.
we
Well,
don't
you can because you are just, right? Because you were in the reverse side of this website. That you fill out says that I acknowledge that hiring someone without the proper credentials, it could be bad.
Oh, yeah.
Right,
Right,
that-
you can get a permit with it, but it's not, anyhow, it's not per code. Yeah.
Let me try this real quick in the legacy, but are you saying when you do the I vouch that you shouldn't need the, and you selected HVAC permit, that you don't need an HVAC contractor either?
Well, maybe that's not a question for me because the old system, the HVAC contractor doesn't have an asterisk next to it because it's not required.
Well, it is required if you're using an HVAC contractor. It's not required if you're the owner who's going to reside in the home, who's going to do the installation of the HVAC equipment.
I'm sorry, it's not required. The application does not require
Yeah.
that you enter anything for the HVAC.
Uh-huh.
The asterisk is not there.
Right.
This is not there in the current system.
The only time the HVAC is required in the legacy system is when you select a permit type equal to HVAC.
So I think that is perhaps incorrect.
Yeah, I think that's incorrect too.
Where's that brochure? Tell I've been here recently.
Yeah, so it
Yes,
looks like,
here's what Lenny's saying. All heating contractors must be state registered, but owners may install their own. That's exactly what Lenny said.
yeah, so when you click that I attest at the end, it gets rid of that requirement then, right?
It should, yes.
Yeah, okay, and if you don't do the I attest and you selected HVAC, then it's going to require the HVAC contractor details in order
Yes.
to approve it. Okay, okay,
Yes.
that's, okay.
So these act the same? Right?
Yeah, the I vouch thing
Mhm.
looks like it's clearing out. It's not requiring a dwelling contractor qualifier, or an HVAC contractor or qualifier.
So did you just make that change or?
I don't know. I just ran through one in your legacy system.
Oh,
And
you're
it's-
checking the legacy system, yes.
Yep.
Okay, yep, so then this would be, I think that's something to
Yeah.
check on in
Yeah.
the system. Oh,
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to confirm so that we know what to fix here for it.
Yep.
So. Okay, so yeah, if somebody selects I vouch, then dwelling contractor qualifier, and HVAC contractor or qualifier would not be required credential types to provide. Okay. Okay, I will open one for that.
anything else we should test or look into as a group?
Okay, well, we will look at, based off of this, we'll look at that permit card template and why that's going over onto 2 pages. And we'll make sure that when you do an electrical waiver, that is clearing out both the electrical contractor and the master electrician.
Yep.
And when you do the I vouch, that the dwelling contractor qualifier, and HVAC contractor or qualifier are not required.
Perfect.
Good. Those are all good ones.
Okay. Susan, anything else? I have some closing comments for you, but I just want to check with you. questions or anything.
I know there's times where homeowners want to do their own electrical. Say they're like a journeyman and they want to do their own electrical. Would they need to get a waiver then also, or does it have to be licensed?
It's got to be a master.
Okay.
If a master wants to do that, we can do a waiver for that, those situations.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, we've done probably 2 or 3 in the old system. But keep in mind, they have to be a master electrician because that's the license that is required. A journeyman wouldn't cut it.
Okay. I just want to clarify that because I know a lot of them are like, well, I got my journeyman's. No.
All right, so anything else? Like we said before, we're going to provide you, Susan, with some links to customer testing environments that we've looked at today. So you can go in and play around with it and find errors that we did not find today. And I'm also we recorded this session so we can provide this for you. And I'm also working on some written instructions. We talked a little bit about that earlier. I'm going to provide some written instructions for you. So whichever you prefer to use for your testing. Another item that Dennis touched on is about that blackout phase. I think he touched on that earlier. So when we close down the existing system and start up the new system, there's going to be kind of like a blackout phase, and neither the customer nor the inspector will have access to either system. So you may want to provide a notice to your customers, or just keep that in mind as you work with customers in the next month. All of the applications that customers start, they're in that filing or pending status. Currently, they have a link to go back to their application to complete it. But once we close down the old system, that link is no longer going to be valid. So for any of your customers that have started an application in the old system, you're going to have to provide a new link for them. The application isn't going to go away. That draft application, pending application isn't going to go away, but you're going to need to provide a new link to them so that they can go back to it.
Okay.
So you might just kind of look into how many pending applications you have at any given time, just to see what kind of work that's going to be for you.
Well, I know I got 2, 3 for sure right now.
Oh, good. I was scared that you're gonna have like 100. So 3 or 4 isn't too bad.
Well, let's see here. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sitting here right now.
So I think that's about it. If Dennis or Mike or Jack or Lenny has any other follow-up comments.
And Susan, we're not clear on when the shutdown is going to be yet. So just watch your email. Once we determine when we're going to start the transition, I would assume we're going to send out an email blast saying,
okay,
this is when the old system's going to shut down. This is when the new system's going to take off. So, if you get something from DSPS, you probably want to open it.
One of the key things too is we want to make sure that you're working with your IT folks just to see how long the integration is going to take, because we'll be looking for that feedback as well if you want to email Etta. And that'll kind of determine our next steps as well. Like I say, we've got option 2 left to do tomorrow, and then we're going to review option 3 on Friday, and then we'll get into the UAT testing. But we just wanted to kind of give you guys a high level overview of the system and kind of get feedback, and that way hopefully we can make adjustments and proceed and then get the UAT testing done. So
okay, yeah, I think we have the link on the City of Waupons's website. City of Ripon, I'd like to get it on their website, but I think we'll just wait till after the new one's incorporated before we do anything.
Sounds good. All right, so you'll hear from me soon with some guidance documents and some instructions, and I think that kind of closes this session. So
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Etta. Nice job.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Yeah, thanks, Etta.